Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skillamistic. I am here at the Weird House tonight to bring you guys what I think is a very interesting subject. I have heard a lot about pet training and pet talents and pets failing whenever you least need them to, after huge long amounts of training, all that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do tonight is show you guys, well, it's tonight for me. What I'm going to do is show you guys how to train a pet to get the talents that you want with the least amount of fails, with the least amount of years and hours and 10,000 mega snacks spent in training. All those kinds of things. Let me show you the pet that I've got first off, so you see what's going on. That's what I've got so far. And I'm going to get Storm Boone right here in this spot on my next training. I'll show that to you in another video. I'm just going to explain the mechanics of what's going on this time, and now I'll show you the finished pet in another video. And I know that I'm going to get Storm Boone here because of what I've done. As you see what I've got here, I wanted this pet to be a damaged pet with one heal. I've got Pain Giver at 6%. I've got Fairy Friend. I've got Storm Dealer at 9%. And I've got Storm Giver at 6% currently. Whenever I get to Mega, these of course will go up a little bit more. Plus the Storm Boone that I'm going to get there. I thought I might go for the other generic damage talent. Maybe, I don't know yet for sure. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish this pet. Or finish this series of pets, I guess I should say. But right now, this is what I wanted to get. I wanted to get a damage pet that had 1 heal and 4 damage talents. And how I did that is this. The first thing that you have to do is get yourself an eligible pet. In this case, I've got the Stained Glass Roller because it's a storm pet. I know it's got some storm talents. Now, I didn't have this pet at first. The first pet that I had in this series was Ginger, which is a Sorcerer Hunter. I, at the time, didn't have the Stained Glass Roller, so I mixed that pet with someone who had a pet that had the damage talents that I wanted. That's the key to this first thing. You need to mix with someone who has the talents that you want first off. And not only mix once, but mix your pet twice. Maybe even 3 times, but twice is good. The reason for that being, you don't want to train a pet until it fails and then discard that pet and start all over again. You don't want to do that. The reason for that is this. And you'll see the lineup. This is how I did this. I started with Ginger, and I got Gracie as a drop, and trained a couple of storm talents on Gracie. Now, being as Ginger didn't have a lot of natural storm talents, I did that mix, like I was saying, with my original Sorcerer Hunter until I got a couple of storm talents on Ginger. What I'm doing here is, instead of training a pet until it fails and then discarding it and starting all over again and trying to fight those percentages, I'll show you what I mean. I'll pick up Ginger here. Okay, Ginger has 2 of the storm damage talents that I wanted. When I had her Ginger to adult so that Ginger could be mixed, I did Gracie. Now Gracie had Storm Giver and Pain Giver. I think I got a fairy random. I forget how I mixed it in there, but anyhow, I mixed a fairy in there. So now I've got, on my first pet, I had 2 of the storm talents that I wanted, and I happened to get the fairy that I wanted on this pet with 2 storm talents. The Sorcerer Hunter, I know, has more storm talents, but I didn't want to risk getting an off talent because a mixed pet will get whatever the talents of its parent pets are, but it's more likely to get the talents that your pet parent or adult parents have manifested. So if you've got 2 pets with Storm Giver and one has Fairy Friend and one has Rugged, you're likely to get that. The most likely talent you're going to get is Storm Giver because both of your parent pets have that. So you want the talents that you want to get on your finished pet. You want to make sure that your adult pets or your mixed pets have those talents at least in their pool, even if they're not manifested. But the ones that you do have manifested, you want to make sure those are definitely ones that you want. If you get Rugged or something like that on your list, then's when you need to discard that pet or not mix with it anymore, because you'll get those manifested talents down in your bloodstream later on. Anyway, so I mixed these two pets because I knew they had the talents that I wanted. And mixed up Gummy and Gus. And let me show you what Gummy and Gus are. Oops. Let me show you what they've got. See, he got Sprightly, and I don't know where he got it from, so I quit mixing him right away. He got Stormgiver, which was great, but then he got Sprightly, and I didn't want Sprightly as my healing talent. Gummy got Sprightly, but he got it after he got Storm Dealer and Storm Boon. And he did all right on these, and I was like, yeah, this pet's going to be great, because I have this one spot right here. This is Fairy. This uncommon right here is the Fairy one. But he got Sprightly, so I stopped mixing him. But before he got Sprightly, after he had 2 talents, I mixed him downstream again. Basically, what you're doing is you're remixing your adult pets down and down and down and strengthening up the chances that you're going to get those manifest talents. Then I did Haley, mixed down from Gus and Gummy, who got Pain Giver, Storm Dealer, and Storm Giver, which these are good, but I wanted that little extra boost on Will. That little extra boost on Will is what's going to boost you up. Will and Agility is what's going to boost you up on the percentage of this. So this was a good pet in my eyes, but I stopped on this pet before I failed because my next talent was more than likely going to be Sprightly. It could be Fairy, but it's more than likely going to be Sprightly. So to keep that talent from manifesting and to keep this blood pure, I mixed in with the pets above who were good, and I got Hannah, who has those things. To see what I mean? She had Storm Dealer and Storm Giver, and she got Fairy, and I was like, yes. Now that I already had a pet that had 3 good talents that I wanted, I could mix this pet ahead and try for 4. Well, this one failed, and well, it didn't really fail, but it failed for what I wanted. And on the 4th talent, got Sprightly again, which I didn't want to get in there. Before I mixed for Sprightly, while I still had these 3, I mixed down to get the pet that I've currently got in my inventory, or that I'm currently using, which is this one. It went back to Pain Giver, and it gave me Fairy instead of Sprightly, because I somehow, in this mix, I managed to get Sprightly out of it. So now I've got 4 out of my 5 talents, and being as I kept mixing Storm Boon in, this one's likely to be Storm Boon. Now, I failed 2 pets, I think it is, out of this bloodline. There's 2 times, and I didn't really even fail them. They gave me Sprightly when I didn't want. Ordinarily, some people like Sprightly. You know, that's just everybody's thing. What you need to do is, before you mix those pets and have them fail, while they still have the talents that you want, mix a couple of pets downstream, because that's going to give you another chance with all those strong talents to get what you want to have. And you won't have to train a pet all the way up to Mega, have it fail, and ditch that whole pet and start from square one, because your parent pets will have the talents that you want. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this well, if it's making any sense to you or not. But what you're doing is you're starting out with a pet that you got to adult that has at least 2 of the talents that you want. You're mixing that with somebody else's really, really strong pet that has maybe all the talents you want or most of the talents that you want. If they don't have all the talents that you want, that's fine, as long as they do not have a talent that you do not want. Say it has 3 things that you like and it has 1 really glaring bad talent. Don't mix with it. Just mix with a pet, even if it doesn't have all the talents that you want. As long as it's got more than you have, mix with that, as long as it's not manifesting something you don't want. On my next training on this pet, right now, I could mix this and probably get Storm Boon right there. But I think what I might do, being as I have a pet that has my 4 solid talents, is I'll mix it back with an upstream pet again. We'll say one of the ones that has 3 or 4 or whatever, but it has to have Storm Boon in it. And then I'll train that pet down, and it should almost guarantee a Storm Boon. So far, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm explaining this well to you or not. If I'm not, feel free to ask questions. and I'll try to be a little more clear about it. So far, this system has worked great. I have not failed. I haven't had any trouble with pets. I mean, I've gone, what? I forget how many it even is. Let's see. Gracie's there. Ginger. That was Gus and Gummy. This was the time that I mixed two pets, or made two pets at the same time. Hannah's back here. And Haley. So I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th generation pet. And I'm almost guaranteed in 6 tries to get the pet that I want. And that's a lot better than I've seen sometimes. 6 tries to get the pet that you want is not bad at all. Especially given that this pet also has pretty good stats. I still got to train that intellect up for the last skill. I didn't bother with it yet. Has pretty good stats for the things you want to get. These aren't max. I think Stormdealer maxes out like 14% or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think it's 14%. These are close to the maxes that you can get. This pet, when I'm done, if I mix it for 5 talents, would give me almost 40% damage by itself. Almost. Anyhow, this is what you need to do. I mean, and this will work with any of the talents. If you wanted to make a ward pet, same way. You'd do the same thing, mixing back into your strong gene pool and pulling back down on the next generation. This will give you the pets that you want with the talents that you want. I could take a Leaffoot pet right now and mix it in about 5 runs down, about 5 generations down, have it with instead of the Armadillo with all these talents. So I hope, guys, that this helps you out to understand what's going on with pet training and what you need to do. In your first generation, try to get 2 pet talents on both of your parent pets that are talents that you want. Even if they're different talents, as long as they make it to adult and they have talents that you want, that's great. On your next generation down, try to get 3 talents on it. And on your next one down, of course, once you've got a good solid 3 pet, don't train it all the way. Mix it down and try again. That way, if you do fail, you can go right back up the line to where it was good and not have to start all the way from the beginning. That's the best way to explain it. It's like a safety net. You can go back 1 generation instead of having to go back 5 generations. That's a good way to put it. All right, guys? I hope this helps you out for making pets up for yourselves. This pet right now has been a PvP dream, let me tell you. I was in a meet and greet a little bit earlier, and this thing was doing beautifully. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe leave me a comment about other games or other series, maybe other pets, whatever else you want to see. I'll be happy to give it a try. If you'd like, leave a comment to talk to me, to ask me questions, or just shoot the breeze, because I love to talk to you guys back. This is Skella Mystic reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace. Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skella Mystic. I am here tonight at the Weird House to show you guys the gear that I happen to use for PvP and questing, and what the stats are on that, and where I've got it, and what the percentages are, and all that type of thing. So you can have a good idea of what a nice, strong setup for PvP is yourself.